Let's go deeper into this Iran situation with Kansas Republican Congressman Mike Pompeo. He's a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman Pompeo joins us tonight from Wichita. Congressman, good to see you. Your reaction to this story, first of all.
So the story doesn't surprise me, sadly. We've been tracking what happened when these hostages were released now for months. We've asked lots of questions, and now we have definitive reporting that bundles of cash were transferred to a terrorist regime that continues to take American hostages. This is a traditional foreign policy thing that we don't trade money for hostages, and in this case it appears we traded at least $400 million, maybe as much as $1.7 billion. This is an enormously dangerous foreign policy failure.
Congressman, not surprising, you're here the White House saying this is not ransom money. This is what Josh Earnest said from the podium today about this.
This $400 million is actually money that the Iranians had paid into a U.S. account in 1979 as part of a transaction to procure military equipment. So what the United States did was resolve a long-standing claim at The Hague that saved the American people potentially billions of dollars.
They say they know the optics look bad, but this is old news.
The fact that money was on an airplane, an unmarked cargo airplane, that they deceived the American people in Congress about. They never told us within hours of the time that these hostages were released. Just strange credulity, Bret, to think that this kind of thing is just a coincidence is something that I don't see how Josh Earnest says with a straight face. This was a really bad foreign policy. It was an intentional deceit of Congress, and we still have lots of unanswered questions about how such a thing could come to be.
Well, go into specifics about what you tried to do, what you tried to get from the administration on details of this transfer of money.
Yes, sir. Well, back in January, I sent a letter to the State Department asking a number of questions. Why was the money transferred? For what purpose was it transferred? How was it transferred? Why was Congress not notified immediately of the method that this was transferred? All of the things surrounding this transition between these American hostages coming home and money leaving, taxpayer money leaving, heading to the Iranian terrorist organizations, were the questions we asked. To date, we've received no written responses.
And you weren't alone. There were other lawmakers, obviously, who wrote letters and tried to get information as well.
Bret, number of letters, indeed. Senator Cornyn from Texas on the Senate side and I on the House side have introduced legislation demanding that they provide us reports. We haven't got that passed into law yet, but there are dozens of lawmakers asking hard questions, lawmakers from both sides of the political aisle who understand that their failure to treat the Iranians as the terrorists that they are and instead treat them as if they're a partner in peace is completely inappropriate and unsafe for America.
All right, they say President Obama made it clear back in January when he said this.
The United States and Iran are now settling a long-standing Iranian government claim against the United States government. Iran will be returned its own funds, including appropriate interest, but much less than the amount Iran sought. For the United States, this settlement could save us billions of dollars that could have been pursued by Iran.
They're saying it's not the type of transfer of money, but the president was signaling to the American people and to Congress that that's what was happening.
Even after this deal, Bret, it still remains the case that the Iranians are not permitted to participate in the world financial markets. And so the only way to get this money to the terrorists was to provide it in bundles and crates and packages of currency. This was something that had been cooked up as part of the deal, alongside of the major deal that the president views as his signature foreign policy legacy of his second term. And all the time, the Congress was not told about it while we were being asked to vote on whether or not we approved that deal. They owed the American people and Congress answers. They did not provide them to us.
You just said money to the terrorists. You mean money to Iran. Are you convinced that they are then giving money to terrorists?
Oh, Bret, there's no doubt about that. Even the administration acknowledges that some of the money that's been returned to the Ayatollah is ending up in the hands of terrorists who are fomenting terrorism all around the world. This is the same country that's allowing al-Qaeda to run free inside of their nation, inside the Islamic Republic of Iran. There's no doubt that the money that the Iranians now have their hands on is going to Hezbollah and Hamas and places all around the world where the Iranians are committing acts of terror.
I want to ask you two quick questions about the election. One is Hillary Clinton. You had an effort underway to prevent her from getting intelligence briefings based on the email scandal and her testimony in front of the Benghazi committee. Are you still trying to do that?
We are, but it appears that we're not going to be successful. It's absolutely the case that she has demonstrated that she is not capable of securing those important American secrets, and we shouldn't provide her any more until we become convinced she knows how to handle it and keep that information secure. Our soldiers, sailors, and airmen deserve that, Brett.
And last thing, there are many Democrats now saying, and some Republicans saying, that they think the Donald Trump campaign is becoming unhinged and there's disarray inside. Are you concerned about it?
I'll let the Trump campaign speak to that. Having spent a lot of time with Secretary Clinton as part of the Benghazi Committee, I can assure you she's unfit to be the President of the United States.
Congressman Pompeo, thanks for the time tonight.
Thank you, Brett.